Hello, guys and gals, me Mudahar, and chances are you probably know one of the largest channels on YouTube, MrBeast, 300 plus million subscribers, massive channel, and you probably also know of some of the people that appear on MrBeast's channel aside from MrBeast. One of them being Ava Chris Tyson, who is by far one of the most popular online, but also becoming one of the most controversial online creators. Now, obviously, I'm going to get the elephant out of the room in this situation. Ava is a trans woman, and months ago when, looking into Ava Tyson and the, other creators that have actually made videos on her, people like Sunny V2, for instance. Now, in the last few days over the weekend, it came out with allegations that Chris Tyson was talking inappropriately to a minor and basically making inappropriate jokes with people that were, I believe, 13, 14 at the time. Now, obviously, as an adult, you probably shouldn't be speaking, in any form of candid way like that with a minor. But these are things that I want to seriously look into because these are very life-ruining level of allegations, and obviously I think everyone should take serious care into reporting and looking into this kind of stuff. So I decided to actually reach out to some of the people affected. But the other thing I've noticed on the internet, which I'll mention for fair sake, is because of the trans identity I mentioned at the beginning, this has become a culture war talking point, and you'll find discourse like, this person's Chris Tyson setting the entire clock back like 200 years or whatever. And if your brain is set there, then I think it's best to refocus and look at these individuals as individuals, okay? You can find tons of bad people in every community. That said, there are a few things that I find inexcusable from a personal level, and it's beyond more than just what people are talking about, so let's actually dive in. Now, in this situation, I like to always delve deep into these situations and really try to come to the truth of the matter. And oftentimes, the truth is very nuanced. Now, this actual thing really sparked into the mainstream, where now there's 100,000 plus tweets that exist now. This whole story has become a trending situation on the internet. And one of the actual, spearheads into this was a YouTuber known as Prism42. Now, Prism42 made a 59-minute, 18-second long video going over the, Ava Tyson story, and they actually jumped into showing some actual, screenshots that were pretty wild when initially anybody read, okay? So, in the video that Prism42 had made, they were providing screenshots from Twitter, or X, I guess, and Discord as evidence in this situation. So I decided to look at some of the messages that were showcased, and for instance, in this screenshot, it appeared that this person right here was the actual, victim in question, all right? Alleged victim. All right, this is Lava, all right? I'm just going to use that name for, context purposes. So the messages in question were these, okay? For instance, one of them was from Lava. Check again, CCASYT. Chris posts, I posted some fire nudes for you, please, no share. So yeah, immediately people looked at some of those messages and were like, whoa, that's sketchy. Ava over here, not $5, pathetic, JK, wait till my Twitch revenue comes in. So initially when I was seeing this, a lot of the assumptions that this might have been DMs weren't really DMs. Those were obviously public interactions between people. And obviously when it comes to minors and adults on the internet, there should be a pretty hard gap in between these individuals. Now, I decided, in good journalistic integrity, to reach out to this individual, Lava. Turns out they actually reached out to me first. I actually jumped into a call with them, talked about the situation, and they basically told me all the context right here. For instance, there is a rumor about a camping trip where I guess, they met up with the MrBeast individuals as a minor. And they had said, my family goes to North Carolina every year for vacation. We stay in a very nice camper at a nice campground. It happens to be 2 hours away from the MrBeast studio. And I'd been helping with some Beast gaming videos remotely at the time, instead of doing it remotely, okay? My parents drove me to the studio and met the entire crew. They knew where I was and met the crew before leaving. I helped record some videos and then my parents picked me up and left. This is where the picture is from when my face is blurred, and it was taken at the studio with multiple people there. So anyways, a tweet about a hentai addiction, okay? I don't think I have to explain my audience what hentai is, but I'm sure you can figure that out. At the time, Ava was a very public anime fan. I personally am not. Me too, buddy. The friend group we had just randomly started saying he had a hentai addiction because it was funny and good inside joke. I was never shown any hentai, and there was never an attempt to show me it. Okay, fine. The Coming for America picture was sent to the group chat I was in, and not to me personally. It's just a funny picture. I was never sent anything explicit or asked to send anything explicit, vice versa. I'm not a victim of grooming, and if I was, I would have already come forward. I'm on the internet way more than an average person, and have seen multiple instances of people actually getting groomed. I'm not one of them. Please stop using my name to attack someone. There are real victims of SA and grooming that deserve to have their voices heard. Now, at this moment in time, to be honest with you, I really can't just make somebody a victim if they keep claiming that they are not. And this is one of those things where obviously people had basically started to look at this whole controversial situation and wonder, is this realistically, just an actual really messed up situation? Or is this a possible politicized situation where because of what, Ava Tyson's, personal characteristics are, maybe it's used as a political topic point to make an entire group of people look like, groomers and whatnot, okay? But this is where a similar situation to, Keffels, who I looked at about a month and a half ago. And in that situation, it was really a similar thing where I really had to basically tell the audience, I'm just looking at one bad person, okay? I'm not trying to paint an entire community of people as bad. A lot of people self-report themselves when they don't look at a situation like this pretty critically. Now, that being said, I wanted to provide everything for context here. This also said, if you're in a group chat that intermixes adults with people under the age of 18, minors in this case, you probably shouldn't be deploying images that, state coming for America. That word should never even be uttered. The other thing is, when you got situations like hentai being mentioned as an adult, which you are in this situation, you should shut that down. This kind of stuff is never the fault of a minor, but as an adult, you absolutely have to fucking sanitize your jokes, no matter how edgy you think your group is, especially when you got people under the age of 18. It's just a terrible look. It's disgusting, and there really isn't any way you can spin it to somehow soften the blow. There's a lot of things that I've discovered in this entire situation where it really comes across as Ava Tyson actually being not a great person, okay? So let's get into things that we can actually somewhat reasonably confirm through the power of the internet, Wayback Archives, and so on and so forth. Now, according to, according to Lava, who had actually told me that their interaction with this individual, Prism, was not something that was entirely discussed properly. They actually believed that they were more so applying for a job, from what I understand, versus actually discussing these entire situations. Which, again, if you're an interviewer or you're a journalist and you're not actually being upfront and honest about why you want to interact with the subject in the first place, that's already a big issue right there. So here's the thing, if you want to actually go and, drop some hardcore evidence on people, you probably want to do it in a realistic fashion. Honestly, this is one of those situations where people end up being sued for in a court because of, again, mishandled evidence and mishandled allegations like this. Now, of course, in this situation, I use allegations very heavily because, again, I don't really believe any of these messages on Discord or Snapchat or really anything unless I can actually refresh pages. But, we're already getting too deep into the weeds right now. Let me actually pull you into the next bit of allegations that had popped up about Ava. Now, because of these Twitter messages, all right, immediately I decided, sure, let me go check up, her actual Twitter account. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's completely wiped, which is obviously never a good sign, okay? So the next bit of information that came out was another individual, a different individual that was 14 years of age, came out and showcased a Snapchat conversation with them and Chris Tyson. So immediately looking into this situation, you can see that Ava, Chris Tyson over here, they actually have a video recording showing an actual Snapchat account. So of course, as you open this video up and you actually zoom in, you can see Tyson, let me actually get this is actually a little bit blurry. So Tyson Nos YT, okay? 202,000 followers, vlogger, and so on and so forth. There's there to showcase actual messages, for instance. Been stepped up, lol. Thanks, Dad, LOL. Keep it a secret, though, LOL. What exactly is a secret? Let me read this. Hey, I don't know if you heard about my bathwater prank and how crazy it's gone, but my stock is actually sold out at the moment. I believe this is in reference to, I think it's Belle Delphine, or, you know, one of the gamer girls' bathwater stuff right over there. You know, things that you probably shouldn't be discussing with somebody who is under the age of 18. At least I would think. Now, of course, being that this is, again, a video, even if it is a video, I can't exactly 100% verify these messages, right? This is, again, allegation stuff. But it's pretty serious, okay? You know, if people are willing to talk about people like Cody Ko, Dr. Disrespect, then these are things that, again, we all have to cover, especially when we're dealing with one of the largest channels on YouTube. So, again, looking at some of these messages, you got emojis, of course, Dad. This is the best Snapchat I've ever seen. So then there were some messages over here where they were explicitly speaking to a group of people, including, allegedly, one minor.
I know, dude, I would inside of that egg and then watch her eat it, and then watch her have with another man while she comments about how my can never satisfy her.
Whoa! Okay, I'm just gonna cut that right short, okay? You already had me on come inside people, alright? That's not happening in my book. It's a little haram.
I hope he gets cancer in the mouth.
Okay. I gotta say, that is one of the not good places.
I hope he goes his entire life not smoking a single cigarette, and then when he gets 80, he just gets with some dude with some cancer. He shoves it in his mouth and he gets mouth cancer.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, if there's one minor in there, probably not a good thing to be saying. And of course, they started to also throw up archives of the original screenshot postings over here. For instance, if you look inside, this is an archive link right here by an account known as Young No Name. Now again, in this scenario, for instance, I wanted to see, hey, is this actually valid? Is this somebody's real actual account? And so I decided to look up Wayback Machine archives of this possible Snapchat account. So it turns out that account actually exists right here. It's an Ava Chris Tyson account, actually with 211,000 subscribers. And yes, you can see that this is the original archived thing. Tyson Nos YT. So immediately, you know, where is this account now? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it seems like it's deleted. So according to Snapchat as of now, that account doesn't seem to exist. Now, to me, anytime an account gets deleted like that, especially so quickly after it's been brought into a spotlight, is not something that I personally find, really reassuring, so to speak. That also being said, when it comes to, again, any form of messages like this, especially when things appear to be stories that are publicly posted that are intermixed between what appears to be DMs, which is kind of how I'm understanding Snapchat. I'm not exactly perfect at it. I don't use Snap all that much. And by not all that much, I mean if at all. But the thing about it is, obviously, I haven't refreshed these messages. I don't have them viewed on my device. So everything that I see on the internet, I take with a complete grain of salt in this situation. I think a lot of the interactions in that Discord conversation, if there was a minor present, and that was actually Chris and whatnot, these are not okay conversations or jokes to be making when a minor is present, period, right? So anyways, when I look at messages from all these people, I actually decided to reach out to the individuals in question the best that I can, and it really seems like whatever is actually present really isn't there. Now you might be wondering, okay Muda, that's really what it is, then what's next? Well, what really comes next at this point, ladies and gentlemen, is the darker side. Now, just because these two big things are not exactly substantiated enough for me to make a video on, what I'm about to show you is actually really disgusting, again, from my perspective. Now, to understand this next section, you have to understand an artist known as Shadman, okay? Now, Shadman is a former YouTuber and artist known for creating Rule 34 art, and again, disgusting art, and most importantly, art that some would consider, lowly, for instance, right? Art that depicts younger looking individuals, okay? Individuals that some would classify would resemble those under the age of 18. Now, this alone is not necessarily something that is completely illegal. In fact, the legality of it is different depending on where you live. I personally don't care much for this art style and find it reprehensible in my personal opinion. But where it gets really, really scary is when you actually come across an individual who has made actual depictions, dirty depictions of actual minors. Now, one of the most infamous characters on the internet is Keemstar. Keemstar has a daughter, and at the time, her daughter, who was 7 years old, Shadman had depicted this individual, in a disgusting manner, okay? A sexualized manner, which, of course, obviously shouldn't have happened. And in fact, a friend of the channel, Colossal is Crazy, actually even confronted him on this situation. Listen to this.
Hello? Can you hear me okay?
Hello, Colossal. Yes, I can.
No problem being on the stream. Yeah, apologies if I slur my words a bit. I just kind of got up a few hours ago.
No problem.
All this shit. Let me just be very clear. I was not calling you children. What I did was say what you did by drawing this picture, putting it in context on your website with a bunch of other pictures of little girls was especially considering it's Keemstar's daughter. He doesn't deserve that. Why target his daughter like that? And I felt that was but I'm not calling you a do you understand?
Totally understand. You understand that it was obviously part of like the controversial nature of the picture to post it under such context.
It started off as a controversial joke.
Yes.
You didn't go through with it.
I would have never.
You did draw a picture of Keemstar's daughter in kind of like, obviously she's not. I do feel like there are connotations regarding that picture. Would you agree?
Totally agree. Yes, totally agree. Colossal, I respect you like a hell of a lot. And just like man to man, if you think it would be better for me to take it down, I would take it down just out of respect to you.
If you could do that, I think that would be wonderful.
I'm gonna go do that right now. I'm gonna take it down out of respect to Colossal.
I appreciate you doing that.
I'm gonna go do it, and obviously it's gonna be all over.
The picture is already out there, yeah. So.
This is not something that even Ava Tyson will probably disagree. Even Keemstar, who gets in joining talking about this, will tell you that yes, Chris Tyson actually apparently supported this artist Shadman, who drew his daughter at age 8 in a disgusting manner. That's a known fact, according to this Keemstar fella. Privately, me and Chris even had a conversation about this roughly a month ago, as it still upsets me. This is not misinformation. This is a fact, according to Keemstar. So yeah, it is, without a doubt, one of the more disgusting things that, exists. Now, Shadman, since that whole thing, has actually been arrested in Los Angeles for, guess what? Assault with a deadly weapon, as according to this arrest sheet right here. But beyond all of this, okay, Shadman is still back, actually still actively drawing, and this is somebody that has had kind of a connection to a lot of people in the Newgrounds artistic sphere. But we'll get to that in a bit. Now, in regards to Shadman drawing an actual human being underage in a disgusting manner underneath the United States obscenity laws, obscenity is not protected under the First Amendment's right to free speech, and violations and federal obscenity laws are criminal offenses. So while the United States has a, three-pronged Miller test, to go down to obscenity law and minors, federal law strictly prohibits the distribution of obscene matters to minors. Any transfer or attempt to transfer such materials to a minor under the age of 16, including over the internet, is punishable under federal law. It is also illegal to use misleading website domain names with intent to deceive a minor into viewing harmful or obscene materials. For example, using a cartoon character or children's television programs. But in this next paragraph, again, in addition, visual representations such as drawings, cartoons, or paintings that appear to depict minors engaged in activity are obscene are also illegal under federal law. So drawings, cartoons that depict this kind of stuff are obscene and illegal under federal law. Okay, so again, because this never went to a court, obviously I'm just bringing up to show you what obscenity law is and how it's actually not protected and why the legality of some of these images are in question. Point of the matter is, with an artist like this producing content, you probably never want to financially support them whatsoever. Now again, the reason why Shadman was brought up into the story is yours truly, Ava Tyson, posted bonus fidget spinners. Again, I actually have the Wayback Machine link right over here. So no, this wasn't Inspect Elemented. This came right from the actual horse's mouth. Really like to throw in some extra autism at Shadbase. Now, this moment in time, I have to censor a lot of this image because it appears to be somebody that is not the age of 18, somebody that would fit that lowly criteria, so to speak. Now, this was posted all the way back in 2017, so, it wasn't that far off, okay? People were definitely well within their mental faculties. But again, where people get really freaked out about it is when they start to look at frames of older videos on the Beast channel, and they find that, you've got these individuals sitting down, and you got Jimmy staring at what appears to be the same exact image hung up on the wall, okay, allegedly at, Ava's home. Now, it's one thing supporting a pretty terrible artist in that regard. It's another thing hanging up that filth in your fucking house. Now, I think that's a rightful thing to criticize anybody for, and it doesn't have anything to do with their intrinsic characteristics, like being transgender. It has more to do with them being a fucking weird person. So again, because of the scrutiny that this individual gets, what effectively happens was old Reddit accounts started popping up. Now, according to the internet, they had started to look into older accounts right over here and found that they were linked to a Reddit account known as TysonBoy34. One that we'll find out actually has a YouTube channel later on, and it gets even weirder. So, according to archives that were captured, Tyson Boy would basically just post things like, no second monitor to have hentai constantly playing, not good enough for this boy, allegedly being posted. And of course, you had other things like, Shadman is gonna love this. What would Shadman allegedly love? The Pixar's Incredible 2 trailer. Whoo, that's filthy. For instance, 4chan, right over here on the old 4chan thread, Tyson Boy says, why would you use your VR headset for anything other than 3D? Ooh, that's a little too filthy for the internet, man. 3D, lowly, gang. Boom! To me. Now, obviously, some of these are dirtier jokes, but, in the grand scheme of things, again, the one mentioned about Shadman really wasn't something that I was comfortable reading. So, of course, throughout all this, ladies and gentlemen, the next bit that I'm about to show you is probably the reason that I'm even making this video to begin with. Now, one of the things that was posted by Ava Tyson was something alleged to their old YouTube channel where they were sharing revenge, photography photos with their actual audience of famous Nickelodeon star Jeanette McCurdy. So when I saw this in a video, immediately in my head, I have to actually research this before I even run through with it, okay? Because again, with the internet, when you share things around and you don't do a modicum of research or you look up the actual archives, then you are possibly slandering an individual. So to go down this rabbit hole and to prove that the video that you saw in that allegation actually belonged to Chris Tyson, let's go look up things like the MrBeast Wiki, where they actually go to Chris Tyson and they start showing the Tyson YouTube channel. So that one apparently doesn't exist. youtube.com/c/Chris. Okay, so anyways, looking up, again, older accounts, for instance, right over here, I looked up TysonBoy34, again, name pretty similar to the Reddit account. You can see that TysonBoy34 posted a video called Call of Duty Ghost, Dogs Make Me Rage, 28-second clip, and it appears to show who is, Ava Tyson, a lot younger back in the day, 10 years ago. So in this post, you can see that MrBeast is posting out LMAO. I know you came here from his channel info. This channel hasn't been used in a long time. So actual interaction from an official MrBeast channel. And again, it takes a simple click on this to see that, yes, this is the actual MrBeast channel, not some fucking clone. And it's reasonable to assume as well, too, and to go into it, is when I looked at a lot of these big YouTube Wikitubia pages, which again went over, Ava's actual, YouTube profile, their wiki description over here. One of the things that they were also linked to from here was that TysonBoy34 account. Now again, this, with the interaction of MrBeast, obviously there is a reasonable expectation that this belongs to Ava Tyson, okay? So when I'm looking through this channel, literally 10 years ago with 85,000 views, Jeanette McCurdy picture leak info plus link. Not looking fucking good, that's for sure. So immediately looking into it, I decided, sure, let's click down, and Lo and behold, that appears to be good old Chris Tyson, posted 10 years ago, long before the days of artificial intelligence. So let's listen to what, Ava Tyson back in the day has to say.
How's it going, you guys? So recently everybody's been hearing about the Jeanette McCurdy leak of her photos, and I know a lot of people were wondering about it, so I decided to do this little video to my 20 subscribers that may care, may not care, and if you guys are watching, thank you for watching it. But first off, what the story is, she sent pictures to her boyfriend, her now ex-boyfriend, and he leaked them out, and she is a very popular Nickelodeon star on the show iCarly, and...
So, before anybody goes, but Muda, he was like young back then. To give an idea, I believe that Ava Tyson was born in 96, I'm 94, so, back in 2014, this would probably mean that they were just turning 18. Yeah, you're looking at somebody who would probably be like 18 years of age at the time, right? When I was young, I knew at the time, okay, uploading, even when I was 16, 18, 20, whatever, uploading images that an ex-boyfriend leaked out of somebody or an ex-girlfriend leaked out falls under what is known as revenge pornography. It is never okay, all right? Just because you are a minor at the time, telling people, hey, go to this link or check this out. Maybe I'm not endorsing it, but I'll definitely link it in my YouTube channel. That's never okay, all right? 100%. It's a shady, disgusting thing to do. And again, for people who are like, but this was 10 years ago, Muda, people change. This is the same group of people that will immediately dogpile me or anybody else for things that they would find in my past to use against me. So yeah, I really don't give a fuck if people are looking up things in the past. And honestly, this kind of shit doesn't age well, okay, at all, all right? It's disgusting back then, it is known to be disgusting back then, and it is disgusting now. Let's listen more.
Sam and Cat. And so first off, what you'll probably be seeing is the pulling of the show. It'll probably be taken off the air. Second off, you'll probably see the photos get taken down at some point tonight, maybe tomorrow, because Nickelodeon has that kind of power. But the link's in the description if you want to see them. I mean, I'm not endorsing people to go look at somebody else's private business, but I know that people might want to see them, so it's there if you want it.
I'm not endorsing anybody check out revenge pornography or leaked photos. But yeah, the link's in the description below, bro. Wild shit. It's kind of crazy how people are like, whoa, maybe you shouldn't be sharing somebody's personal private stuff, even if it is available on a public ClearNet page on the internet, probably isn't good to share it. And yes, this person is a giant hypocrite based on what I'm about to show you.
First off, what I have to say, though, is that when you look on the news, you see people, they've leaked nudes from their girlfriend at a high school, and that girl kills herself. It's a tragic story. Everybody calls the guy a bully. But yeah, when people like Perez Hilton do it, it's considered entertainment.
So he's bringing up some cockroach e-celebrity shitbag like Perez Hilton and thinking, yeah, it's okay now if I do it. Anyways, you go to their actual link, I shit you not, they actually still have one that goes to Hollywood Life. So yeah, even tagged it up and everything. I do not support the leak, and I'm not condoning these actions. Dog, you just shared the actual link right there. And yes, it is the actual link, because when I put it into Wayback Machine, I do come across what appears to be leaked images that should not have been leaked and shared around. And yes, this person literally linked to a website right there. Now, this actually baffles me, because I would think, damn, why would anybody like this do that kind of behavior? And again, going back to Ava Tyson's page, I decided, man, maybe I should ask them about all of this stuff straight up. So I noticed, wow, I have the messages. Do I have DMs with Ava Tyson? I don't remember it having any DM information or contact. Turns out, ladies and gentlemen, she actually did try contacting me at some point in May 13. What did I do in May? I talked about Keffels. And because of this, it basically sparked a bit of a, transgender panic and discussion on, a lot of popular Reddit boards. And to this day, I'm still basically fighting off accusations of transphobia. Now, Chris hits me up in the middle of a drive back home from New York and says, so glad you said there's legit info on Kiwi. She's referring to Kiwi Farms. Legit being people telling people to go to my house and, do something bad. That website is the reason my child has a gun pointed at him by cops. They renamed my family businesses on Google, harass and dox my family members to the point where they don't talk to me anymore, and are the reasons I had to move. So thank you for sending more eyes to the bottom of the barrel of the internet, where transphobia is encouraged by the creator who enjoys and has encouraged doxes of me, because they think that I am a Jewish person being paid by Disney to transition. Now, this is a very wild accusation, because if Ava took maybe even 5 minutes out of her life to watch the video that she is so hard on criticizing, then she would realize that I actually decry what the actual website would do if it means harassing and doxing anyone. There's no actual, way that anybody can approve of that kind of behavior. It's fucked up. But I believe the reason why, Chris Tyson dislikes a lot of online message boards and image boards and places like Kiwi Farms is they're the only people that are actually cataloging archive links of this stuff right there. A lot of creators and researchers on the internet and people who dig up stuff like this actually use that website, okay? I'm just going to be honest, that's just how it kind of works behind the scenes. Anybody that says otherwise, most often than not, is a little too cowardly to admit that they've maybe accessed the website. But to give you an idea about this situation, I don't condone any of this negative behavior, especially when people are harassing and doxing and attacking family members or even the person themselves. There's just no justification for it. But I find it very hypocritical how this person, even if it's 10 years ago, felt that they decided to put a link to another girl's nudes, young girl by the way, okay? Obviously she didn't enjoy that whatsoever. It was disgusting then and it's disgusting now. How this person, even if I didn't even directly link any of this, in fact, I never threw anything like that on my channel anyways, and they're getting mad at me for linking people in some weird proxy way to personal information, even though I very much have not. This is incredibly hypocritical, and one of the things that fucking made me laugh when I was putting the docket together for this video on such short notice. Look, at the end of the day, I don't think that Ava Tyson is a good person. I think MrBeast keeps some bad company. And there are two actual situations, the Shadman stuff and this Jeanette McCurdy situation, that are incredibly disgusting things that should absolutely be viewed with complete scrutiny. However, these things are ultimately buddied behind waves of grooming or, these messages being shared that have still yet to be properly confirmed or actually vetted. I feel like if you want to nail somebody for disgusting behavior, you might as well stick to things that are actually a little bit more solid than just standard Discord messages or Snapchat messages or whatnot. Look, I think hyping up a lowly artist, and it's not just Ava that did it, by the way. There's plenty of Newground artists that have done this behavior. I believe Belle Delphine is even attached to it as well, too. As well as plenty of other, e-girls on the internet. I think like that Kiwi Sunset girl as well, too. I believe even you've got individuals like Aaron Hansen or people related close to him. Look, the point is, I'm not throwing Chris Tyson exclusively under the bus over here. I'm just saying that there's a group of people back then who decided to be adjacent to this disgusting artist, and, that's not a good look, all right? Putting up art like that is not a good look. And again, this Jeanette McCurdy stuff, it is actually disgusting to look at. It makes me want to fucking throw up because it's filthy. But yeah, Ava Tyson, all the way in the internet. And honestly, deep diving into this individual has not made me look at them with a clean bill of health. Absolutely disgusting behavior, but not something that honestly really shocks me, given how much this person just constantly tries to hide away. In this entire editing process so far, Chris Tyson actually ended up coming out with an actual apology. Or a non-apology, as I would say. I would like to apologize for any of my past behavior or comments if it hurt or offended anyone. It was not my intent. Seeing